I think that things are fairly priced right now. Hearing Josh talk about Prague being compressed further, I think is at risk of making Prague overpriced. Like, why would people go to Prague instead of Warsaw? Because of the pricing differential, right? So I think we're fairly priced now, but I made some notes on the way in. I think it's really, pricing is really about, it used to be about, distressed sellers, and I think it's now about motivated buyers. So people that have capital, like Heitman, typically have a limited window of opportunity to place that capital. And, it's a difficult decision to make. Do you want to chase yields down to get your allocations done, right? Or do you want to step aside? I'd say, without going on and on, that Poland, I think, was pretty hot last year. And I think that people may look back and find that they overpaid in Poland in 2012. And I think Poland is sort of moving up a little bit in the yields, and Prague is moving down. And maybe that's a rebalancing that's taking place.
In the prime end, no, the yields are stable. I mean, last year, I think we're seeing it more in the secondary, let's say the value add or the opportunistic assets. We've seen yields move out quite significantly. So from June last year to now, possibly 100, 150 basis point shift on certain assets, because the opportunistic guys are really looking for real value add and real, I wouldn't call it bargain pricing, but they want to get a very solid return. And the risk in some of these more secondary assets is much higher than it used to be. On retail, we are feeling a bit of a pinch on consumer spending, mainly in the smaller towns. If you start looking at the smaller cities across Poland, there has been a demographic shift of population coming out, spending power reducing, so smaller cities are suffering. So go back to the prime end of the market, the big schemes in the big cities, which Jos mentioned in terms of that they're the assets which people are all hunting for, they still trade extremely well. Turnover levels are still good. But the secondary end of the market, when the value add side, yields, we have seen those move out quite a bit. And I think if people paid a strong price through last year, there will be difficult assets to sell through, say this year, or the pricing would have shifted down,
Okay, so there'll be more of a difference between prime, if you like. You see that difference growing.
Yeah, it's this polarization which everyone talks about. It's getting wider and wider.
And is there a point where you see then somebody stepping into that gap and going, well, now this deal is worthwhile?
Yeah, there are let's call them the opportunistic players who are active in the market. And there's, even Heitman has looked at assets like that, Resolution, there's a few other guys in the room here, have all looked at the value add retail asset management play across Poland. Because in terms of the retail market, the demographics of Poland is good if you get the right asset in the right city. And we spend far more time now looking at population, demographics, spending, competition, turnover levels, affordability ratios than ever before, because the amount of development over the last, say, 5 years, there are certain towns and cities where there has been a big oversupply. And if you get the wrong town, the wrong city, and the wrong asset, then there are issues,